What's up everyone, Vu of Envu Films, and I am back with another idiotic video for you to watch. And today, as promised, I have an unboxing and a quick and dirty comparison and just my overall impressions of the Feiyu-Tech AK2000S. As some of you may know, the reason why I gone ahead and decided to test this gimbal is because I've been using the Zhiyun Weebill S for the past 3.5 to 4 months on multiple different projects, and for the most part I've been happy with it until it broke, which is the axis locks, and it made me question its obvious reliability, build quality, things of that nature. So I am always open to trying out new gear, and I know I have convinced many people and recommended many people to get the Zhiyun Weebill S over the past few months, and a lot of people are disappointed in the build quality and the firmware updates that doesn't work, the various issues with the Zhiyun Weebill S, with how it has issues holding on to the roll axis, or the fact that it just is not as stable as most would like. So yeah, let me just go ahead and start this unboxing fresh out of China. And to be clear, this was purchased with my own hard-earned nail salon cash, and I was reached out by Feiyu-Tech a few months ago, but I failed to reach out back to them for them to send me a gimbal. But it is okay. I figured I would donate some of my hard-earned cash to help out all those kids in China who are currently eating bats and catching coronavirus.
Too soon, Junior.
Hopefully, they could have a decent meal with regular food for once. So let's start the unboxing. This is pretty standard issue now for gimbals released the past year and a half, 2 years. They all come in this styrofoam case that no one ever uses, but is really horrible for the environment. But this is not that kind of channel, so we'll go move on. Inside the box, this is how things are laid out in the box. Obviously, we have the gimbal and various items. Now, to be clear, I did open this up and take a look earlier on, and I have to tell you that this gimbal is shocking considering how cheap it is. It is $349 US, which means it is about 600 billion Canadian. And here it is. So, right off the bat, this thing, straight up, I'm gonna tell you this with a complete straight face, this is 100 times better built than the Zhiyun Weebill S, and the fact that this is less expensive is even more shocking. This thing is, I'm guessing, a mixture of metal and plastic, but the plastic is better. As you can see, you're not gonna hear any creaks or anything from this gimbal. It is solid, and it is actually a real wood on this handle. It seems like probably panda bear bamboo or whatever it is that they cut down over there in China. But yeah, 100% impressed with the build quality here. It also comes with the usual tripod. This is also a very nice quality tripod, pretty much on par, maybe slightly better than the Zhiyun Weebill S tripod, and you know, at least on par with the DJI Ronin SC tripod. It comes with a quick release plate and lens support. This bag contains pretty much all the cables you ever need to charge and to connect your gimbal to a camera, which you will see in plenty of other reviews, but I'm not going to go that in depth with that today. And this is the underslung handle that comes with the gimbal that attaches itself right here, like so, to enable you to do underslung mode. And this is very appreciated considering Zhiyun is different, where it has an adapter kind of like hanging out this way, and then you would have to take this tripod off and put it here, or you buy a separate handle, as I have done here to connect here, which I had to buy, so it's an additional cost to the Weebill S gimbal, just for you to have a similar functionality as the Feiyu-Tech AK2000S. So I'm gonna get this thing set up real quick, and then I'll be back to try to balance this Sony a7 III with the Sigma DGDN D's Nuts lens f2.8 zoom. As you know, the Weebill S can handle this lens no problem, and I will want to see how the Feiyu-Tech handles this lens, if it can at all. All right, so I am back, and it balanced. I got it to balance. However, there are some drawbacks. It only balances at 24 millimeter. That's pushing it really far back. So I can't balance it at 35, 50, or 70. And I had to remove the eyepiece on the Sony a7 III so that it would clear the back of the gimbal. And I mean, when it clears, I'm talking about it barely clears the back of the gimbal. But as you can see, it is balanced. Go ahead and turn it on. And there you go. It's balanced, and it's quite responsive, actually. Unlike my previous gimbal reviews, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is an awesome gimbal and all that stuff. As of right now, it really feels that way. But I've learned my lesson in the past that I cannot really sit there and tell you, oh, this is an awesome gimbal, you should go buy it, until I have thoroughly tested it myself for at least a couple of weeks on a couple of gigs and made sure that I have, you know, put it through its paces. But generally speaking here, holding it and turning it, as you can see, it is very responsive. If not, maybe I gotta turn down some of the settings a little bit, but it doesn't really do like those random twitches that the Zhiyun Weebill S would do when I'm doing similar moves. Even when I flip it down like this, it seems like it is handling it quite well, and there's no like weird vibrations, things of that nature. Let me try to go flip it over, and even this, there's no real vibrations, and it handled that flip around really well. Oh, there it goes crazy. And yes, it kind of went crazy here, but this actually happens quite often with the Weebill S as well, and the Ronin SC sometimes when you try to flip it back. So, and double tap to return as a regular gimbal would. Just quickly looking at it here, I'm not sensing any real roll axis issues. But let me just double check really quick. Yeah, the roll axis right now is completely green. There's no real sagging to one side or the other. It's handling that quite well. And like most gimbals, this kind of mover here gives it some issues. There's definitely some issues there to the right. And of course it doesn't go back to normal. So this is, I guess, is common amongst gimbals, but there it goes again. Oh, this time it actually returned. Still no issues with the roll axis. So the roll axis is playing nice so far. One of the things I like about the Weebill S is it's not on right now, but you could change all the settings on the gimbal itself. You don't have to go through the cell phone app to change things like the Ronin S and the Ronin SC, which is one of the real downsides in my opinion with the DJI Ronin S series. I always have to go in the app to like calibrate, to do anything. The Weebill S keeps your phone in your pocket, and you can pretty much do all the controls right on the gimbal. Now, as you know, you may have seen on other reviews before, the AK2000S here, it has all the controls via touchscreen right here. So you can do all your gimbal settings, all your calibrating right here on the screen, and it's touchscreen, so it even takes, you know, it beats the Weebill S even on this feature, which I think is great. I mean, right now I'm definitely disappointed that I can't balance. I mean, I'm okay with taking off the eye cup. It's okay just for the versatility of this lens. camera combination. I wish I was able to balance it more like at 40 or 50 millimeter instead of 24. That doesn't mean I can't, you know, use it from time to time at 50. As you can see, I just turn it on to 50 and the motor is compensating for it. Obviously you don't want to do this for like long periods of time. And as you can see, you could, you know, change the location just by moving like this. And now it's at 70, so it's really pushing the motor off balance. And this thing seems like it's handling it like a champ, but I'm not gonna keep it there too long. I'm gonna go cut it right back to 24, where it's probably most happy. Yeah, this is cool. The fact that you could change all your settings right here via touchscreen is cool, and the handle is down here. So the likelihood of you accidentally touching this is actually very rare. Unlike I used to accidentally touch the Weebill S buttons all the time. The fact that the buttons are up top and not like where you'll be holding the gimbal, this is quite nice. And of course it has all the modes: selfie mode, portrait mode, motion time lapse, inception mode, different shooting modes that I'll probably go through more some other time. And of course everyone's favorite mode these days is the inception mode, and we'll see how this works. Oh, and it does it automatically. You don't even have to control it with your... Oh, you can control the speed. Pretty sweet. Overall, build quality, 100% amazing. It's definitely better built than the Ronin SE and 100% better built than the Weebill S. I'm going to now compare the size of the gimbals just to show you how they look. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off first. So the AK2000S sits right in between the DJI Ronin SE and the Zhiyun Weebill S in terms of size. The Ronin SE to me has always been unnecessarily massive, and it has like no space to balance anything. Look how like it just has a really small balancing area. The Weebill S obviously has the most balancing space, strong motor and all that stuff, but it is built a little rickety. This is a lot better built. It has more space obviously than the Ronin SE, but unfortunately it doesn't have nearly as much as the Weebill S balancing space, so you know, obviously there's limitations there. Other things of note, the locks, the axis locks on the Ronin SE feels like it's better built than the Weebill S, which is not saying much. And I would say the Feiyu-Tech locks are pretty much on par with the Ronin SE. It definitely seems thicker and more robust, and it just feels a little bit more solid than the Weebill S. So just overall, this is probably the best built out of the three gimbals, and it's the cheapest, and it sits right in between in terms of balancing. And pretty much any other lens that is lighter than the Sigma 2470 f2.8 DGDN lens for the Sony E-mount system will balance on this gimbal. The Sigma 2470 is almost close to the weight of a 2470 G Master lens. So pretty much any lens lighter than that will be no issue for the AK2000S, just in case you were curious. Like I said, early impressions on this AK2000S gimbal are positive. I think it has some potential, but I need to really put it through its paces on real life situations, not just like these YouTube tests or whatever, because you can't always just test the gimbal without actually doing a real world shoot. Real world shoot mean like turning it on, like on the go, just pushing it throughout the whole day, like for 8 hours straight, or leaving it there, sitting there on while you're waiting for something to happen, holding it, all those things, all those factor in to the usability of a gimbal. So with that said, what do you think, Lance?
It's an amazing machine.
Wrong person to ask. What do you think, my bit?
Hello, Mr. Vũ. I think you a liar because you tell everybody to get the Weebill S, and now you tell people don't get the Weebill S and try a different gimbal. You are a trash liar. Why are you a trash liar? You tell everyone get Sony A7 III, but the Canon much better camera, much better color science. You tell everybody get Weebill S, and now your Weebill S is broken, and now you want people to try different gimbal, and you try different gimbal. You liar, you a big fat liar. You tell me you get me the health insurance.
I never told you I was going to get health insurance. I don't know where you're getting that from.
Yet you tell me you get me the health insurance, and then you don't get me any insurance, and now I can't get any benefit from you. I work for you, I don't get anything, and you don't put me on your stupid channel, and you lie to everybody. You lie to me. You a liar. You a big trash liar. You big trash liar.
That's enough. Off. So anyways, that is that for now. Hope you found this video somewhat useful, and down the line there'll definitely be a more in-depth test of this gimbal and how I think it fares with the Weebill S. But right now I think overall things are positive. If you were to ask me today if you should give it a shot, and you had the Weebill S, or you're thinking about buying the Weebill S or not, I would think if you have lenses that are lighter than this DGDN lens, that includes like Tamron 2875 or pretty much any other prime lens, I think I would give it a shot. At least try it. If you don't like it, make sure you're within the return period so you can return it. But I think this is a solid option versus the other gimbals out there in the market, based on the build quality, based on the amount of weight it could handle, based on what it could balance, based on the features. It pretty much has the same exact features as every other gimbal out there these days, maybe even some more. A great touchscreen. Yeah, I'm thoroughly, from my initial impression, I'm thoroughly impressed with what Feiyu-Tech has done here. It's just amazing that it is only $350. All right, so until next time, lighten up.